Welcome to JoDee Jean's Kitchen. Today we are going to switch it up just a little bit. We're going to do a Sunday dinner with company. So this one is going to be just a little bit more involved than it normally is. There's a lot more prepping and time to do other things, like say if you have people over. The first thing we're going to start with is the chicken. We are going to do a spatchcock chicken today, which basically means removing the bone and opening it up so it cooks more even and faster. This is the perfect thing to have when you're going to have people over. You don't want to spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen. You want to put it in the oven before they get here. It's ready in 35 minutes, and if you want to slow it down, you most definitely can. So the first thing we're going to do is take the chicken. And as you all know, I do not like to touch the chicken, even though I've been doing this for many years. And we're going to take this and we're going to put the breast side down. Now, the chicken I have already put in warm water for 30 to 45 minutes with about 4 tablespoons of salt. Now, it's not so much to say as you're brining the chicken, but you are warming it up so it cooks more even and faster. And it's just like another little one of those shortcuts that I tell you that you need to use. So all of the stuff that was inside of it I've taken out, and you're going to take your kitchen shears and you're going to take the breastbone out right along here and cut it down here. You can grip onto that. And the gloves do help to get a handle on this, because it's not exactly as easy as it looks. Make sure you have a good pair of kitchen shears. The knife is not really going to do it for you. So you want to get in here. Here's the rib bones. You want to take out this part right here. There's nothing really to eat here or anything. So we're going to take your scissors and go down this side. Make sure your hand doesn't slip like that almost did. And you can hear it crunching because you're actually cutting the bone and everything. I can get through all that. All right. So as you can tell, we have opened it up, taken out the backbone. Now we're going to push it over like this, and you want it to lay flat. And so there's all kinds of things you can do, like tuck the wings in like this, make it sit up pretty. But the main thing is you need to crack this. If I can. Okay. Did you hear that crack? To where now it's laying flat. So you're going to have your chicken. Tuck your little wing guy back in here. You're going to have your chicken on top of all your vegetables. So as you can tell, this is going to be down in the lower part, and then the breast will help you not have an overcooked chicken. And then, well, we have Buddy. Here's my little chicken mascot, my cooking buddy. So he just hangs out while we're in here, waiting for anything to hit the ground. So take your gloves off. And if you don't have gloves, just make sure you wash your hands. I'm going to leave this here while we start prepping the rest of the stuff. So like I said, this does have quite a bit of prep involved. But remember, if you're going to have people over, you don't want to have to cook a whole lot of things while you're there with the people. So put your foil down. Easy cleanup. Always remember that. And I know a lot of you have been coming by the restaurant and thanking me for cleanup tips and knife suggestions and stuff like that, and I really do appreciate it. So before I forget, if you have any questions or anything, you can go to my Facebook page at JoDee Thomas Jeans, and of course subscribe to the cooking channel, JoDee Jean's Kitchen, so you will get every update of new episode or any videos that I might post on there for little cooking tips or something we might run on special at Ippies. All right, so spray your pan. Always spray your pan. I know y'all are sick of hearing me say that, but it's the truth. Now, you can do any vegetable you want. We are going to do carrots, celery, And you can time this on how long it's going to take us to put this chicken in here. So probably 3 minutes or so in the cutting. You know, while you're getting your dinner party ready, you can put your chicken in the sink in warm water with a little salt in there and get it warming up. Do your vegetables. Just get that off of there. Now you want to, in the vegetables, you want to make sure that you can try to get them somewhat a similar size so they all cook the same. And carrots, you know, you can't really hurt them. They're going to all be delicious. So I usually cut it at a diagonal so it's pretty. And so this one's bigger. I'm going to cut that in half. And then we're going to arrange it on the pan because we're going to put the chicken in the center. And that way it's going to cook more evenly, the vegetables. Everything's going to come out at the same time and it's going to be perfect. Go there. And this is the Cutco knife that Jim and the other gentleman ordered from the restaurant. And I think one other asked me about. Of course, that was the gift from the Granite people. And so we're going to go in here with some celery. Just sprinkle this around. Now, you know, if you want to change up your vegetables, you most definitely can do that. You can put potatoes in here. We're going to do carrots, celery, and onion, mushrooms. You can put potatoes. The little fingerling potatoes are wonderful. And then sometimes you can do all leeks or summer vegetables, some squash, anything like that. So we're going to get all this in here. Really, really simple dish. I used to make this when people would come over. We'd have meetings from about the restaurant. And I didn't want to have to do a whole lot of work. I just want to basically have free time to talk with them and stuff. All right. A couple different ways you can season this. We are going to take olive oil. We don't want those little nibbits in there. Oh, onion. My bad. Can't forget the onion. And you want to kind of do, because you know you don't want the onion to cook down too much. So we are going to cut this just a little bit larger than a sliver or a corner of however you want to call it. I'm in here probably an inch, half an inch. Just sprinkle it around. Look in here. There you go. Now, olive oil on all of it. All over. Nice and yummy. Italian seasoning, I use the zesty, or you can use just Italian flakes. We're gonna put a lot of stuff on here to make it taste really yummy. And then we're also going to put a little bit right here for the chicken. I'm going to show you a little trick with the skin. So garlic salt is a must here. A little bit on here. Some fresh cracked pepper. Now remember, don't get discouraged. This is going to be a lot of prep. There's not any left in there. So I'll show you a pepper trick that my niece showed me. Take your pepper, grind it like this, and as you can tell, it comes out nice and even and kind of fast. So you don't have to keep shaking because we use the real pepper, the small, really fine grain. Gonna come in here with some parsley flakes. And take your butter. So what you're going to do with this butter is you're going to cut it into 2 slabs. And you're going to dip it down in here. You're going to need a little bit more Italian seasoning. And this is going to go under the skin of the chicken. We're just going to dump all that in there. Kind of like stir it around. You know, all this is very technical. because we measured everything just now. Take this and cut it in half. And this is basically going to go under your chicken breast. Put it in here all around. Make sure you get seasoning on every single part of this butter stick. And what this is going to do is you're going to take this and put it under the skin between the breast. It's going to elevate the breast off of the the skin. It's going to make it crispy, and all this flavor, as it's cooking, is going to seep down into the chicken. And trust me, when you make this at home, you will understand the difference. All right, so now we have our vegetables in here. We're going to give them a little stir, and you can actually, if you want to, oopsie, you can do this in a bowl that I already have ready over here, but I didn't use it. Just to make sure the seasonings are on everything, every piece. Kind of separate this a little. And it can definitely be chunky. This is going to be enough for 4 people. This. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and get my Spatchcock chicken. Bring it over here. Oh, my rosemary. Definitely don't forget this. The flavor, when you're cooking this, the aromatic of the rosemary is going to go up into the chicken and just give it an extra little something. So there you go. All right. Now take your finger and the breast of this chicken right here and go all the way around the breast, because you really want the skin to be separated from the breast. And take that piece of butter and just slide it all the way down in there. Same thing with the other side. It definitely makes a difference. I don't know if you've ever made a chicken like this before and it just seems like it's missing something. Well, you will love this. You can do anything you want with this. You can take garlic, put it under there, which actually we're going to put a couple cloves under there now that I think about it. And see how easy? I just changed what I was going to do. So I'm going to take a couple cloves of garlic. Since I had that theory, you don't have to stick to a recipe. As you can tell, I'm winging it at this point. Throwing the garlic under there with the rosemary and just kind of make it your own. That's why I have a problem following a recipe, because I usually have a few conversations going on in my brain. So take that, and if you want to put some butter under the dark meat, you can, which we're going to do that now. And I'll show you how to separate that and then tuck it back in. Dip it down here in the seasoning. If you need a little bit more, you can get some more. So I'm going to go under here. Now, the key is if you separate the skin from the meat, the skin's going to get crispy. And if you've ever gone somewhere and you had a perfectly roasted chicken, the skin is crispy and it is, truly delicious. So I'm going to go this, and now just because you seasoned the inside does not mean that you don't have to season the outside, because this out here still needs a little love. So we're going to go in with just a little bit of the olive oil spray, which will also help make it crispy. And I know this seems like a lot and a lot of instructions. The recipe will have everything laid out for you, but don't be afraid to change anything you want. So garlic salt on the outside. Don't kill it. Maybe some parsley flakes. And they're kind of large, so we're going to go just a little bit smaller. And I know people say it doesn't really have a whole lot of flavor, but it has to be pretty too, because people eat with their eyes. All right. So recapping on what we did. Simple stuff. And you can actually cut up all your vegetables the day before if you wanted to. Put them in a bowl. Let them marinate. It doesn't really matter. Do the chicken in the warm water and then stuff it and put it in the pan. And now your prep time went from 15 minutes to 10, maybe 5. So this is all ready to go in the oven. You're going to cook this at 425 in a preheated oven for about 35 minutes. I would start checking the internal temperature. And when you do the internal temperature, it is very important that you have the dark meat, because you basically have taken this and flayed it open. Tuck your little legs back under here, get this meat off the bottom of there. You want to do it right here and right here where the dark meat is against the bone, and then up in here where the breast is. So this is going to go in the oven, 425. Like I said, start checking the internal temperature at about 30 minutes or so. And now I'm going to give a quick wash of my hands if I don't step on our little mascot buddy. And then we are going to start on our homemade cheese sauce. So here is something that is very simple. And if you're doing a dinner party, like I did here, you can pre-cook your noodles. Nothing's going to happen to them. And start with Bowtie Pasta, twirlies, regular macaroni, really doesn't matter. Then we're going to put some butter, and we're going to cook this up past 165, so I can use this butter that was here. But other than that, this is the chicken board. So it is going in the sink, so we don't have any cross-contamination. All right, so melt the butter. Try not to make a mess. And then we're going to go in with heavy cream. Now, you can measure this. This is like half a stick of butter. I'm going to put a half a cup to 3/4 a cup of heavy whipping cream. And I know that y'all all saw how well I measured that just now. It's not rocket science. You can't mess it up unless you add too much salt or something like that. All right, I tried the creamy melt in the test recipe. This is really good cheese. We're going to go in here with, let's say, it says 8 ounces. We're going to do half of this container of this. And I'm going to use the Fiesta blend. And we're going to do a cup of this. I know how perfect that measurement just worked out for you. But that's about how we have to do it. And then this is the best cheese ever, if I can get my stove to stay on. This is Havarti. And if you have never melted Havarti, you will know that it seriously brings a different flavor into everything. So in here, we're going to put salt. About a teaspoon of salt, pepper, give that a stir. Spoon out here. And let this melt down. And now, while you're making this, you've had plenty of time to have the chicken's been in for 6-7 minutes. You're going to melt this, pour it over the pasta, and put it in, and then everything will be ready in 20 minutes. You'll have plenty of time to clean up your little mess, get ready for the guests to come over, and then everything will all come together at one time. Make sure you don't cook this on high when you're doing the heavy cream. That's the only thing that can really mess it up. And taste your cheese mixture before you pour it over your pasta. Because if you don't taste it before you pour it over your pasta, it's too late. So after this melts just a little bit, I'm going to go in here in this yummy cheese. And if you can see the difference in the Havarti, and all those melty cheeses, and that one from Philadelphia is going to be delicious. So go in there and taste that. Because this time you can make changes to it. After it gets in there, it's very difficult. So that's perfect. Put a little bit more pepper in there. And I'm going to dump this over the pasta. Doesn't have to be too all hot, but you just want to melt it all together. Give that a stir. And don't forget, any kind of pasta you want. And if you don't want to do pasta, make the homemade cheese sauce for broccoli or cauliflower, whatever you would like. Mix it all together, and then you're going to put this in the same oven with your chicken. You're going to bake it 20 minutes, and then when it all comes out, I'll show you what the finished product looks like.
Hi, I'm Robbie, manager at Quick Lube. I want to take a second and talk about your car. We've all been caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. You don't have time to spend hours at a shop for a simple oil change and tire rotation. Here at Quick Lube, we change your oil, not your schedule. We operate on a first come, first served basis, so no appointment necessary. We also repair those squeaky brakes, put you some tires on, and do an alignment all in one shop.
Serving you with 2 locations, 700 Liberty Street in Martinsville and 6518 Greensboro Road in Ridgeway.
So we're good.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Robbie, manager at Quick Lube. I want to take a
Well, here
God
we go.
bless.
Oh.
Cataracts can have a way of slowing you down. It's not always apparent right away, but at some point, you realize life doesn't appear as it should. Be sure you catch all of life's moments. Let the physicians at Vistar Eye Center improve your outlook with cataract surgery. Now seeing patients at our new location on Church Street in Martinsville. Trust Vistar Eye Center, where your sight is our vision.
Everyone's doing it. Follow your neighborhood network on social media. See news live as it happens. See more local content. Your neighborhood network proudly serving Martinsville and Henry County.
Everything we have is right here in town. If we don't have it at this location, we have several of the stores that we are definitely in communication with, of which, myself or anyone would be happy to drive no matter the distance to get what exactly you're looking for, whether it be a color or a case or a phone. Well, the great thing about us is we're current members of the Chamber of Commerce. A lot of our employees are local. We've been here, we're from here, been here 7 years and established a great relationship with the community. So we look forward to serving the community and actually being an impact in the community. People come over every day. They want to stop in at Kroger and pick up a few things, or right next door to our Wyoming Financial location, or even Suntan City, people who come over for their everyday needs. So it's definitely a high volume, just for convenience alone. You pop over to Kroger and get gas, or you're going to stop by, your local restaurant down the street and get a bite to eat. We're right there within arm's reach of it all.
JoDee's Kitchen is brought to you in part by the Harvester Performance Center. World-class entertainment year-round. Harvester Performance Center, downtown Rocky Mount. Visit harvester-music.com.
Welcome back, and we are going to finish up our Sunday Spatchcock Chicken dinner with our homemade cheese sauce Bowtie Pasta. So I am going to pull this out of the oven because I can smell it and it is delicious and ready. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is just beautiful. And y'all saw how long it took me to make that, which was basically nothing. Look at that yummy chicken. So remember, always get a temperature. In here, this is where it's more dense, and this is the dark meat. Make sure it's up to temperatures, 165. You don't want to go too much over that, but definitely not below it. Of course, the breast is going to be ready if that is. Do a couple places. You can't be too careful. Definitely don't want to make yourself sick. All right, we are good to go. So now you gotta cut this thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here and take the leg. See how crispy that is from the butter underneath there? Can you hear it? Just delicious. So we're gonna take the tongs and the knife. Gonna go down here for the dark meat because that's what I like. Look at the juice. Can you see the juice in there? Just delicious. I wish I could smell this. See, cut it right off of there. Come over here. With that leg and thigh. And the cheese sauce right now, it smells so good that I'm getting distracted. So I get some onions, and mushrooms, and carrots, and celery. All of it on there. Don't forget to get a little bit of juice. And you can also turn this into a gravy. This juice right here is delicious. It's got all of the chicken flavor. We're going to take it and drizzle it over top of there. If you wanted to turn it into a gravy, strain it off, put it in a pan with probably 2 tablespoons of flour. Let it cook up for a few minutes and then pour the rest of it in there. Delicious gravy, instant. So I'm going to get a couple more vegetables out of here. Go in with this pasta that is, look at how cheesy that is. You just can't get that out of a box. Bowtie pasta on top of there. I really, really wish you could smell this. The Havarti and all those other cheeses in there just make it a total winner. So now it's the real test of the taste. Definitely can't get that out of a box. It's just the flavor, the aroma, and the mushrooms. Everything's cooked perfect. Even if we did it ourselves, all that's cooked perfect. Now, and if I didn't put potatoes in here because I had the pasta, you can add potatoes, you know, the fingerlings or whatever. Change it up if you don't want the pasta at all. Make it your own dish. Use rice, anything you want. But just whatever you do, don't be afraid of it. Make your own menu and your own plans. And never forget that you don't have to measure everything. You can cook on the fly and make it taste delicious. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe to JoDee Jean's Kitchen or ask me any kind of question on Facebook at JoDee Thomas Jeans. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Are you looking for great food and entertainment? Ippy's Restaurant is the place to be. We have been serving local communities since 1919 with made-from-scratch entrees and specialty dishes like our famous Oyster Rockefeller, smoked prime rib, and hand-carved filet mignon. We have a great selection of menu items that are all made to order for your everyday dining or special occasions. We also offer private rooms, catering services, and have a wonderful assortment of local bands that play in the lounge. Ippy's Restaurant and Lounge, 1760 North Main Street, Rocky Mount.